I sold the apartments I had in the city, which were under mortgage, each of them. So I said, I want to be financially debt free. That was a decision I made. I said, I want to be financially debt free. This is not working for me. I had some health concerns at the time, and which were created by them as well. So I said, I'm selling everything and I'm buying a country house, because it's much cheaper. And then I can have absolutely no bank debt and no mortgage. I had enough of paying mortgage in this lifetime, all life paying mortgage. So I had the time 2 apartments. I sold both of them. I paid in 2016 and 2018 almost half and half the property in Chernica. And there was still necessary 10,000 euro. Yeah, so I paid 100,000 euro on the property, and I still needed 10,000 euro to pay, which my adoptive father came and gave me the 10,000 euro, But these were the 10,000 euro that I paid for his surgery in 2007, which he never bothered to give me back. From 2007 to 2019, he never bothered to give me back those money. I paid. I sold the car. I sold a lot of things. I didn't have a car for a very long time when I got to Germany because I had to pay his surgery. And he never bothered to give me the money back. Anyhow, he gave me the 10,000 in 2019, back, which I paid for the surgery. What do you know? Since 2009 up to this day, if you ask him, he says, I paid for the house in Chernica in which you stay. I say, excuse me, what exactly you paid? But he says this to me in my face. I paid for that house. I paid for that house. I want you to sell that house. And I said, excuse me, what exactly you paid? I paid 2016 installment, upfront installment, because I sold an apartment and the money came from bank directly. So there's record of it. And I paid for the other half of it in 2018, exactly the same way. When I paid the other apartment, I sold the other apartment, there was a bank loan on it. And from bank, the money went directly to this house. So there's another record of it. How can you actually say to my face that you paid for this house? And he says then that, yeah, but I gave you the 10,000. No, but these are the 10,000 I gave you in 2007 when I paid for your surgery. So you didn't give me anything. Why you keep saying to everybody, this is, you paid for this house and it's your house? So God says, I need to give this example so you'll understand that they will do a lot of harm to you because they claim the house you're in. And this opens portals that will force you to sell that house, sends darkness to you. All these affirmations which he makes. Many times I would have to tell you, let me see, because I don't see what else God wanted me to tell you. Many times he carries a spirit on him and he's not himself. Because I've been through back and forth through hell and heaven, and I couldn't understand. I was like, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe he's saying this to me. And I kept asking God, show me why, just show me how can this man change like this. And sometimes there's another individual who's in his body, is taking control of his body and speaks through him. Another spirit, another individual, a human who's doing this, one of these hitmans, which are doing shamanic work. It's very complicated to explain why. But you need to understand that this is happening. Sometimes they do it consciously because all of this darkness put on them makes them greedy, makes them fearful, makes them fearful of what consequences would be if they will tell the truth. Anyhow, but you need to understand that they do a lot of harm to you. This is what God wants me to tell you, that you need to question and check everything and be worrisome, because they can do a lot of harm to you. He worked with the convent here to sell. He wanted to sell this house when I was in spiritual journey, both times. In both spiritual journeys, he made the marches to sell the house. Luckily, I learned enough from them stealing, from my ex-husband stealing my house at divorce, just because they made documents behind my back on his mother's name instead of my name. And I learned from that. So this time around, I made the documents on my name. And I did not leave the country until I had the documents on my name. So he couldn't. And then when I returned, he was very frustrated. He said, I tried to sell the house and I couldn't because it's your name. And I said, yeah, that's why I put it on my name. Because all of you ganged up against me in the past and you stole from me. My ex-husband stole my house. And that was a house which was bought because of me, because of the sacrifices I made in my career in Washington. It was I who was sent with my job. He just accompanied me. And he told me he worked with my ex-boss and he arranged for all of this to happen. And then when I refused to go, he said, we need to do this because we need a home. You said you want a home. So then you need to accept this. They will work against you. Why? God wants me to tell you this because I struggled a lot and I hurt a lot, of course, throughout all this. And I asked God, why they hate me so much? Why they hate me so much? I always gave them not only love but a lot of. Anyhow, God says no property is important because it's no record of your existence. As they make fake documents of your death, fake death because you're alive, and through sacrifice rituals, they try to manipulate your actual death. But even if you do not die in astral, they can manipulate it in such a way through sorcery and necromancy that you appear dead. You appear dead in astral. You don't appear as existing. However, a property ownership document makes record of you. Other people in astral can see that you exist and they can come look for you. Okay, so it has an importance, it has a relevance. And of course, once they do all of these, they make and they did make sacrifice rituals on me, death rituals, death attacks, and declared me dead. For all of these reasons, one is because they transfer karma to you. If in astral you don't exist and you're declared dead, they make a lot of information, fake information, scapegoating you for everything they've done, slandering you, denigrating you, so on and so forth. If they get your home, if you don't have a property, and the property, even if you live on it, but it's on their name, first of all, they can do whatever they want with it, and they give documents to the convents and create convents in your own home, being able to send much more darkness to you. And this way they can cover up the divine truth. Now, if you read energy, when you enter into a building, you can read the energy for whenever. Doesn't matter, centuries ago. Yeah, what happened? That's the energy of truth. Now, if they do this, if they take ownership of your property, because God showed me, this is why they stole your properties always. Your ex-husband, also, this is why they forced you to sell the 2 apartments in the city. This is why they forced you to move here. This is why here, the property, the full property which I contracted initially, was composed of 3 different landlords and 2 houses existing. And now I only have 1 landlord and 1 house. All the rest was stolen from me again. Yeah. Anyhow, it's because of this reason, because they can create convents and they can cover up the truth. They can send to you stuff, and they do worship in those convents, man. They do this type of sacrifice rituals, sex orgies, and all of this idolatry and all of these crazy rituals on you, which they say has much more power. Anyhow, further in 2 more minutes, because I don't have time, these adoptive parents, they gave forgiveness in my name to everybody who fought against me. So I was fighting against the convent, and then he will go and say, no, she's crazy. I'm her parent. I will tell you, I give you forgiveness for whatever you said about her, whatever you did against her. Doesn't matter that you stole from her. I give you forgiveness. You can keep that. She doesn't need it. I'm telling you, This is how they work. This is crazy, but this is what they do. They took money and benefits, like car, house, money in my name, which I never saw. They never gave anything to me. God is keeps telling me, and I keep discovering in shock that God is right. When I returned from the spiritual journey, I asked him. I was in Latin America, and I asked him, "Can you send me money to buy a plane ticket?" He refused to. He said, "No, no, I don't have money to pay for a plane ticket." Somebody helped me, and I got back. And at the time, God said, "Insist on him sending you the money. Your adoptive father, he has the money." And I said, "No, he doesn't. He cannot have this much money." When I got home, he just purchased a new car, which was at the time I said, "How you didn't give me money for ticket, but then you purchased a new car?" And I got a bargain for 2,000 euro, Dana. This is why. Yeah, but you didn't give me money to come back. Anyhow, time passed by, and I find out that car costed 8,000 euro, not 2,000, and as he said. So he had money, just like God said. I keep investigating, and I found out that God was right, and I still couldn't believe it, that he's doing this to me. So they will speak in your name, and she doesn't need this. So they will give your gifts away. They will sell your gifts away. um, he will make statements like, they will make statements, she has everything she needs, so you can take whatever else is involved in a new beginning that God is sending her way. She doesn't need anything. She needs to stay here put where she is. She doesn't need to go to United States. She doesn't need to go there. She doesn't need to do this. She doesn't need to write articles. She doesn't need to make videos. She doesn't need to um, or if something happened, oh, but it's all her fault because she did this and she said this. So this is their purpose, because this is how they scapegoat you and they transfer karma back to you. um, and of course they assume credit for your achievements. These are just a few things which I give as examples because God insisted on me um, saying all of this. Of course, they sell you your rights. They make statements which um, about you, denigratory, and which helps the convents to open portals to justify harassment and attacks and portals and punishments being sent on you and open upon you. So they do a lot of things. Many of the affirmations which they make, they might seem innocent to you. They might seem karmic, but not that evil. So you think to yourself, he's just old, he's just angry, this is how he was brought up. This is how things were in his time, you know. But no, it's not. It's all calculated. It's all calculated, unfortunately. Now, of course, sometimes I in this time I said I went back and forth. I fought and to help him to heal some of these traumas which they created upon him in order to put these attachments on him. But many times he will actually cause the death of you, the end of you. So you need to learn to cut them off, at least until they stand up and heal and fight. I'm going to stop because it's 46 minutes. I don't even know how long this is going to take. Again, this I gave you the information so you can investigate in your own life. So you can understand that the most dear people to you, the closest ones to you, are working against you behind your back. Some of it might be unconscious, by a spirit attachment, by them not understanding the harm they're doing, and so on. But much of it is very conscious, and they get rewards for it. And you need to understand that there is a time when you need to cut them off if you want to stay alive. When I left on the last spiritual journey, and I'm going to close up with this, I had huge fights with him, with my adoptive father over the phone. Why I left? He said, "You needed to stay here. I told you to stay here." And I said, "But they were trying to kill me. They were trying to kill me. They killed one of my dogs. The dog died in my arms. We both fainted. I woke up. He didn't. So the attacks were too strong. I needed to leave. Do you understand?" So at the time when the attack was launched, was a technology attack. There were many of my dogs in the house and myself. We all fainted. All of us fainted at that particular time, and we woke up around the same. We came into our senses around the same time. Out of all of us, one didn't wake up. So they were trying to kill me. And his answer was, this is stupid, idiotic things you keep saying. This is not true. Nobody's killing you. Nobody's doing anything to you. You're just crazy. That's one thing. And another thing, and I said, you know what? I don't give a fuck what you're saying. I know you work with them. I know you work with them. And I was in Hungary at the time. So then he got angry. So he answered to me. He said, what the fuck you think you're gonna achieve? We have people everywhere. We will send people after you. This was my father who was saying this out of his mind, angry of me getting away. Okay, this was what he said to me. We have people everywhere. We'll send people after you. We'll find you anywhere you go. What do you think you're gonna achieve? Who do you think you're best? And I had numerous discussions and fights with him. I said, why you work for them? I know you work for them. Why you support them? Why you don't break free? You're on pension for many years now. And uh, he literally defends them, the system, and he says, they were good to me. Who do you think you are to fight them? This is what he says. Yeah. So there are times when he will consciously confess involuntarily that he sides with them. Yeah. So go investigate your life. I'm not saying that you completely need to be evil towards your relatives, but I'm saying that you need to learn to cut them off at least when you get divine guidance. I do not even know the final answer if you cut them off for good, because I was shown at different times different answers. God would show me cut them off now call him again. God trying to still help that individual, but there are individuals who cannot be helped, and there is a time when you need to just move on and cut them off for good. Yeah. So go investigate your life, because each and every individual in your life, if you have divine royalties, I swear to you, I promise you, each and every freaking single individual in your life works for them. There's nobody in your life that is honest, truthful to you. At best, if you're lucky, you might have better luck than me, and you have somebody in your life who decides to not get involved either way and just keep a distance. I didn't have that. They all decided to betray me in my case. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Go investigate your life. Ask divine guidance about each and every single individual, and ask what information is in the book of knowledge that binds you to certain individuals, family members, workplace, school, every single detail in your life. Question your nationality, question your ethnicity, question your religion, question everything about yourself, because none of it might be true.